Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. This is Tonetta Clay, and I'm doing some more Reddit relationship advice. So, before I get into this, make sure that you, of course, click the subscribe button and then click the button for all the notifications so that you can receive every video that I upload from here on out. And as I always say, if you ain't seen those in the past, go check them out too. So, like I said, today is another Reddit advice column from your girl Tonetta, the social worker and the coach. So let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. I'm scrolling. I'm just gonna pick whichever ones come up. Well, whichever ones that I think may sound a little bit interesting that come up. So let me go ahead and start scrolling, y'all. Let me see. Okay, here's one. Says my wife wants to back out of the divorce she filed. Not sure what to do. My wife of 12 years decided to divorce me earlier this year. We did marriage counseling and just about everything else you can do to save the marriage. I love my wife, but she apparently fell out of love 3 years ago, according to her. We separated in March of this year. The separation was recommended by the marriage counselor after everything else failed. It was supposed to, show us our marriage from a different angle by being separated. I ended up moving out of the house, and quite honestly, I was much happier living by myself. I told my wife that I wouldn't file for a divorce, and if she wanted to go down that route, she can file. In May, she finally filed for a divorce. Honestly, I completely expected it coming after the separation experiment. I was hoping for a simple divorce like we talked about before we separated. We don't have a prenup in place since we both basically didn't have that much when we got married. They always say it doesn't matter how much you love or have mutual respect for your spouse, but because during a divorce, there are no limits. She initially wanted the house, her car, full custody of our daughters, $4,000 a month in child support, and a six-figure alimony. My wife doesn't work since she's a full-time stay-at-home mom. I was never going to leave her without anything, but it sort of hurt me that she would try to get all those things knowing well that I would barely have anything left afterwards. Anyways, the lawyers have been negotiating for some time, and I haven't had much contact with my wife about the girls. Last night, my wife called me asking if I would go to dinner because she wanted to talk. I accepted, and we met for dinner at a restaurant. She expressed that she wanted to give our marriage another try. Her reasoning was that she was in a dark place before, and now that she understands that she was the problem. She took 100% responsibility for our problems, which is very out of her character. Ever since I've known her, she doesn't apologize like ever. She also said that our daughters missed us living together, which I guess is true. After dinner, she wanted to come back to my place, but I told her it wasn't a good idea. Let me scoot over here. All right, hold on. I told her that I would have to think about it. She started crying and begging me to come back. Eventually, she calmed down and we went our separate ways. A few months ago, I would have agreed to trying again without hesitation. But after the divorce process, I'm not too sure anymore. The only thing is that the other thing is I know she's been on dates since our separation. She told me one of our mutual friends who told her husband who told me. I personally haven't dated anyone because our divorce hasn't been finalized. Also, I'm enjoying living single with just my daughters. Ideally, I would like to save our marriage for the sake of our daughters and the love of my wife, but at the same time, I don't want to try again just to waste time ending up in our current situation. My daughters prefer staying with me over their mom. I've never said anything negative about their mom to our daughters, and I try to leave them out of it completely. If you have any experience in trying to make your marriage work again for round 2, was it positive or negative? Is it worth revisiting, or do I just cut my losses and move on? And let me see if I can, I hope this doesn't mess up. Maybe I won't do that. Okay. To whoever this is, and I know other folks may be in this situation as well, just know that it's your choice to decide what you're going to do in this situation, regardless as to whatever your partner's doing. Yes, I understand that you all separated. She filed for the divorce. Whatever the case may be, it depends on what you want to do in this situation, not what she's wanting. That's first and foremost. Just know that the person can want anything that anything they want out of the relationship, but just know that you have your rights too. If you're loving your single life, if you don't want to go back down this road, you don't have to go get back together with her, move back in and do all these, or join your life back together again. That's a choice that you have to make. Yes, it can work out. I've had other couples and family friends that I work with. I've had relationships and marriages as well and that kind of thing. Unfortunately, I knew my marriage was over because of cheating, but I know others who have, of course, had similar situations who have gotten back together. In some situations, it worked out good. In some situations, you led right back down that same road because the person that was asking for the relationship to come back together was not as serious as the person thought. But like I said, that's a choice that you have to make. If you feel that your wife is is being very sincere and you're noticing the changes in her, which it sounds like you did notice some changes, if you're noticing those changes and she's being consistent with these things, not just today, not just next week, not just next month, for the next several months, about a year. If she's being consistent with these things, you see her constantly changing and trying to do better, and you all trying to trying to work on things, you're back in therapy or counseling and it's working, and your relationship is back better than what it was and is flourishing, then yes, go ahead and stay with her or get back with her. But you have to notice some change, not just within a dinner date. Give her about 3 to 6 months and see how things are going then. And if she still wants to, of course, you all are going on date nights and stuff like that, and you all are still having the counseling going and are back going and things like that, and things seem to be working well, and you're definitely noticing changes within her, but also changes within you too, then go ahead and do that thing then. But if this is just all talk with her, because she's wanted to get back with you for whatever reason, maybe her other relationship didn't work out or whatever the case she thought it was going to be, or she thought it was going to work out by her being single with these kids and doing all this stuff, then like I said, time will tell that. Time will definitely tell that. But just know that if this is what you're wanting to be single still, you're enjoying this time, you don't have to do anything that she's asking. You can still move forward with the divorce if that's what you're wanting to do. But like I said, you can give her a chance. That's up to you. If you want to give her a chance, give her at least 3 to 6 months. And live the same way you're living right now, apart. But try to go back to counseling. Try to get that therapist back involved. And let them know that you're wanting to, of course, join the household back together, bring your relationship back together, and move back in together at some point, possibly. But there are some things that y'all need to work on first. Those things need to be spelled out by you and spelled out by her and the counselor involved as well. Give it 3 to 6 months and see if she's honestly willing to go the long term and actually make some changes that she's talking about. She realizes that it's her fault now and this kind of thing. Give it several months and see how things go in those several months. If she stopped next week and talking about, oh, I'm sick and tired of this and this kind of thing, then you know she wasn't for real. You don't have to join back right away. Give it some time and start doing the counseling, start doing date nights, start having regular conversations and getting to know each other again and see how things are turning out if you want to give it another try. I wouldn't say just jump back in, just move back in at all right away. Give her some time to work things out and make sure that she's going to do what she says she's going to do. That's how you build the trust in the relationship and the trust back in her as well. So that's my answer for that. But like I said, definitely it is your choice. But it just sounds like to me that relationship that she was expecting when she was out here dating and that kind of thing and told her friends about, it must have didn't work out is what it sounded like. Either that or she realized how hard it is to raise some kids alone. Whether she got the money from you or not, it's still hella hard to do that. And she probably is going to have to go back to work. And that's probably something she didn't want to do. Like I said, give her some time to work through these things, to make sure that she's being genuine about this and not just saying it because she's having issues right now. Give her some time if you're going to think about that. If not, stay single and continue on with the divorce. Let me look for another one, y'all. And I actually had this situation in a marriage, actually, so I'll go ahead and do this, y'all, actually. Let me see. I messed up. Okay. Well, this is actually says it's an update. But my fiance revealed to me that he has a child with another woman. How do I process this? Firstly, I want to thank, well, you know what? I don't want to read this because it's an update. I'll do another update video another time. I just thought about that because that's too much to, because I have to go back to original post. So I'll do that another time. I don't know what this one means actually, but we will see. This one says, what can I do to feel less turned on by my girlfriend? Like I said, that's why this is interesting to me. So I'm like, what's going on? Less turned on. Usually men want to be turned on and have sex and do all these things. So this must be an interesting one, I'm sure. I have been dating my current girlfriend for about 3 months now. We met on Tinder, and initially I didn't think much of her. She wasn't even really my type. I was going through a fuckboy phase, so I wasn't looking for a relationship. Just some quick thing to get my mind out of uni and my part-time job. I'm not sure. I guess university, maybe school. We met for a coffee after work, but then we decided to grab dinner and then some drinks, and then we went back to mine. And before I knew it, I was making breakfast for her. I just didn't want her to leave. Our record for time spent apart from that moment on is 3 days. I'm in love with her in a way that I never thought possible. What? She makes me want to work on myself just so I can be a better boyfriend. I've never felt so safe in love before. Sounds great, right? My friends say I'm living the dream. Shit, I feel like I'm living the dream. But there's trouble in paradise. That is where I need the advice. It started about 2 weeks ago. This feeling like I'm going through heat. I feel like a teenage boy. I can't even smell her perfume on my hoodie without popping a boner. Just thinking about her makes me so hard I can't function. And the worst part is, jacking off does nothing to help me. It's not about being horny. It's about being horny for her. I feel like I'm going insane. Anyone has some advice on what I can do to control myself? This is really bothering me. I wish I was kidding. Edit. My main concerns are how frustrated and embarrassed I get when I can't have her and how scared I am of overwhelming her. I don't want to do anything that might jeopardize what I have with her. I don't see this being a problem, but I mean, I do understand the situation. It just sounds like, I guess, infatuation. You're in love with her. You want her, that kind of thing. Have you talked to her about how many times or the frequency that you're wanting sex? I guess I put it that way. Obviously, the masturbation isn't helping. You have to talk to her about the frequency that you're wanting to have sex with her. She may be feeling the same way. You never know. It may not even want to say anything. You never know. Approach her with it. And let her know how you're feeling. Of course, you would tell us on this advice thing, but of course, talk to her about the situation. I always talk about how communication is key, and I'm going to leave an ebook, a link to an ebook I wrote down in the description of this video called "Connecting Conversations," and that's going to help you all, of course, have those hard conversations and those hard talks that you all may not want to have, but is necessary for your relationship. How to get through those times when you're arguing, you're fighting, and when something's going on in the bedroom. Like I said, the ebook is going to help you, so make sure that you click on that link and pick it up today. It helps you inside the bedroom and outside the bedroom. And this will help this couple, I'm pretty sure, as well. Like I said, have that conversation with her and let her know how you're feeling and how you're wanting her. You never know how she may feel. She may feel the exact same way, like I said before. And if so, then y'all can have sex all day long if that's what you want to do. Just to make you and her feel better. Talk to her about these things. Don't just hide them and try to suppress them and that kind of thing. Don't suppress the feelings that you have. Let her know about the feelings that you have and let her know that you want to jump her bones every day or whatever it is, the frequency that you want. And hopefully she's on the same accord or in the same plan with you. I guess I put it that way as well. If not, then just do it whenever you all can get together and do it. Whenever she and you all can equally decide to do it and are consenting to do it. But don't suppress the feelings. Yes, I know that may be bothersome and that kind of thing, but let her know what's going on. And with the bothersome feelings, you were trying to figure out how to, of course, take your mind off things. Get into a hobby. What kind of things do you like to do? Do you like to draw, color, paint, take pictures? Do something that's going to take your mind off things. If you like to cook, get in the kitchen, start cooking. I don't know, make meals, different things like that. Get into some type of creativity that's going to help you take your mind off of things, especially if it's bothering you this much. And if you, and just in case she does not want to have sex as much as you may want to, get into a hobby, do something creative to, of course, take your mind off things. That always helps. And there's no other advice. I don't think I can really put anything else on there. But like I say, you are in a lucky space. I guess I put it that way. A lot of folks would love to feel this way about their partner. I'm pretty sure. Like I said, don't suppress those feelings. But if you cannot have the sex that you want with her and that kind of thing, get into a creative mode and start doing something creative or learn something new. Even if you want to start playing guitar, learn how to play the drums, something that'll take your mind and refocus all the energy somewhere else. Sexual energy is very creative energy. Use that and do something with it. Start a business with it if you can. Doing something that you already know how to do. So I hope that helps somebody else out there. But like I said, I know this situation uses the opposite way. Somebody wants to have sex and they don't want to have it or that kind of thing. But you're definitely in a good situation, it sounds like. And the love and the connection and the trust and the safety space is there. That's what all relationships need, and that communication. That's why I talked about my ebook. Pick it up if you ain't got it yet. The link is going to be in the description to help you start communicating better with her, to tell her what you need in the bedroom and how your feelings are for her too. Let me see. Oh, my TV on, y'all. I forgot I need to cut it off. Let me see. Let me see. I'll do this one actually. Like I said, I've had some of this. Possibly it may be this situation because I know I've had a unsupportive partner before too. So let me go ahead and read this. How do I set boundaries in response to my husband's restrictions on me? I cheated on my husband, and D-Day was 10 months ago. My husband and I were having a really rough patch in our marriage. Well, this is what I thought because I haven't cheated on anybody. So husband was unsupportive of my master's program that I funded. It made me give up my cat I've had for so long. The resentment built up so much, especially after failed conversations and anxiety, that I lacked the tools to address those issues in a healthy way, and instead cheated on him with a coworker I consider very close to me. I didn't even realize when I was feeling emotionally pulled towards him. All I remember is feeling good just talking to him and sharing my feelings, feeling heard and validated, experiencing happy hormones without even realizing and not experiencing them when I was at home with my husband. So I chose the artificial high over him. All I remember is one day after a particularly bad fight in the morning, I had decided I don't want to choose him and kiss my coworker and have sex with him. Immediately after doing the deed, I realized it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth being a shitty person. So I told my husband. He unleashed his wrath in such a way that it scared me. However, by the time I had mentally forgiven him for all the bad parts in our marriage before cheating happened, maybe it was a way I expressed my guilt and remorse by silently being okay with how unsupportive he was, or when he made me give up my cat. So for a few months, I accepted whatever terms he set for me. I was to become a stay-at-home mom unless I find a remote job, never go outside alone, and if I had to, it's to FaceTime him every 30 minutes. Okay. He didn't feel secure me working from office and wanted me to find a remote job, which felt unfair because I had just earned my master's and didn't want to limit my options. But I still understand that he will take his time to heal from whatever damage I caused. However, the worst thing I experience every single day is my alarm. My husband made me record my own voice saying, "Wow, I'm a horrible person, and I'm an unfaithful wife who cheated on her husband and who deserves no respect." So every morning I wake up to my own voice telling me the scum I am. This is impacting my mental health, but my husband insists putting this alarm on as punishment for wrongdoing him for at least 3 years because I had an affair for 3 months. He absolutely refuses to go to counseling because he thinks counselor might try to make him accept things he doesn't want to accept or lessen the consequences he has for me. I just want to get rid of that alarm. I can't accept other things, but I Cannot imagine having that as my first thought in the morning for 2.5 years. How do I set boundaries and communicate in a way that makes him listen to me? This is hurting me. For one, if I've been in I've been cheated on in a relationship. And I know if I'm the person that's, of course, I was hurt and that kind of thing. And of course, at some point I had to forgive him and move on because my life was a living hell until I did. And it sounds like this man is taking all this wrath out on you and you don't have to sit up there and put up with it. Yes, I understand that you cheated on him because of whatever reasons it was, whatever was going on. I understand that. But I understand that he's upset and that kind of thing. But you should not let him control your life like that at all. Not having you listen to a negative ass comment in the morning for the next 3 years. Come on now. You need to get a backbone and get the hell up out that relationship is what I see needs to happen. And that's coming from me. Like I said, you can do what you want to do. But like I said, that's what I see. If he's refusing to go to counseling to get any kind of help in the relationship, I don't see the point of y'all being together. He's putting you through unnecessary torment because of which I understand you cheated and that kind of thing. I'm not letting you off the hook either. But if you are trying to forgive somebody, you don't have to take them through this unnecessary torment at all. At all. And if he's not willing to get the help so you all can move forward, I would say leave his ass. And yes, I understand that some folks out there may not agree. I don't care. People cheat all the time. I'm not saying that it's that norm, but folks have cheated. And if you're the one that's out there holding all that damn resentment, not even want to get a counselor or somebody to help y'all fix this relationship, y'all do not need to be together. There's no sense of taking somebody through the mental torment, taking them through for the next several years to do what? All she's going to do is leave your ass anyway. After 3 years of being beat down and beat down and beat down, she either going to try to commit suicide, be depressed as hell, and that relationship ain't going to work no damn way. Or she's going to end up leaving you because she's sick and tired of the torment that you're putting her through, especially if you can't even forgive her or either forgive her or leave her. That's a choice that you have to make. You can't force somebody to stay at home and work, which I guess she's doing it, but to work from home, come on now. If somebody's doing you like that, just know that that is a form of abuse, no matter what the hell happened in that relationship. He should not be treating her like this at all. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if she slept with 1,500 fucking men. I don't care what it was. I don't care. If you cannot forgive and move forward, leave her ass alone and get out that relationship. That's how that should always go. Not just beat somebody down because you want her to, I guess, to pay her back. Come on now, that is fucking childish. It really is. I'm pissed off about this one because this made me mad, actually. I haven't cursed as much in the video in forever, but this has pissed me off. If you cannot forgive her and move forward and try to get some help in y'all relationship with a coach like me or counselor or somebody, then leave her ass alone. Leave the relationship instead of beating somebody down. That's ridiculous. That's all I got to say about that one, y'all. If y'all got something else to say, put the stuff down in the comments. Because that has pissed me off. Really, it has. I understand that she cheated in this kind of thing, but if you can't forgive and move forward, leave her alone. Leave her alone. Get out that relationship. She needs to leave him anyway. I don't know what else was going on. I know she's taking all the responsibility and the blame. It sounds like some other stuff was probably going on as well that she didn't mention in this. I'm pretty sure in this thing because I've talked to many couples in my own relationships. I've talked to many people throughout these last 20-some years. I've even been a social worker. I know how relationships go. That's not all the story because she said it wasn't. But still, if somebody's treating you like that, leave them alone. If there is no help for this relationship, that person don't want any help but wants to beat you down and tear you apart, leave that person alone. It ain't even worth it. It's not worth your mental or emotional sanity at all. At all. Your mental health is more important than that. Be single and do whatever the hell you want to do. That is crazy, seriously. And you shouldn't be putting up with that, whoever this is. If you're in a relationship like this, like I said, this is a form of abuse. You need to get out that relationship. No matter who cheated or whatever's going on. You should not sit there and have somebody just beat you down over the next 3 years for a cheating episode. If that person cannot get past that, leave that person alone. Because next is going to start the hitting and beating. That's how it sounds to me. And I've seen that in several relationships. including my own mother. So get out that relationship, whoever you are. And if you're in a relationship that's abusive, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, get out of that relationship. I'm telling y'all that now because I don't know how many, I've been a social worker over 25 years. I can't tell you how many domestic violence victims I've seen go through things like this. And other types of things too. Get out of those abusive relationships, ladies. You don't have to put up with this man at all. I understand that you cheated. That's fine. It's not fine, but I understand that. But you don't have to deal with the aftermath because he can't move forward or leave you alone. You have to take the action and leave him alone. And get your sanity back. And forgive yourself for whatever happened. That pissed me off. As y'all can tell, that pissed me off actually. Good Lord. Okay, let me calm down. Let me calm down, y'all. Let me calm down. All right now. Okay. Okay. Goodness gracious. Let me see. Let me see. There's another abusive. I don't want to read that because that has made me mad. Oh my God. That's an update. I don't want to read that either. Let me see. I'll read this because some of y'all may be out here going through this. Liars who don't tell you the full truth on social media. I have been talking to a guy for a couple of weeks and just found out through social media that he has kids. Is it weird that he did not disclose this yet? I'm trying to process this and be understanding because I know that different people disclose things at their own pace. But I've been on 4 dates with this guy and we've been talking every day for about 2 weeks. He mentioned to me that he was in a relationship for 11 years and has been single for a couple of years, but never mentioned anything about having kids. Today I got curious and looked him up on social media and found out from Facebook that he has 2 kids. He moved to my city about a year ago from a different state, and I'm assuming that his kids are living with their mom there. This might sound like a really dumb question, but I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. Is this something he should have disclosed to me already? I met him on Hinge, and he didn't disclose anything about having kids on his profile either. I guess I never asked, but I feel like that's something you disclose early on. It's also weird that his kids live in a different state and he lives here. And I'm not sure if this is something I should continue to pursue. Just keep in mind, well, I know people do lie on social media. My thing is if you all are dating and it sounds, if you are getting serious, then yes, I can see him disclosing that he has kids and whatever the case may be. But it sounds like he disclosed that he was married and divorced and whatever else now. So it wouldn't have made a difference to actually say that he had kids unless he doesn't care about the kids, unless the kids aren't his. I would say definitely have that conversation with them if you feel comfortable doing so. Unless you want to just leave him alone. That's a choice that you have to make. But like I said, definitely with him giving you all the information about his marriage and all this kind of stuff going on, how he hadn't dated, and I would have thought in at least a month the kids would have come up by now. Even if the kids are in a different state, and because I'm sure they're going to have visits and different visitation going on. Jesus, excuse me. I'm sure there'll be visitation at some point, I'm assuming, going on. And if you all, like I said, if you're just friends, that really wouldn't matter. Because, I mean, you don't have to be around him and the kids or that kind of thing. But it's only been a few weeks, so I don't know if it's getting serious or not. But in a few weeks, I'm sure it's probably not getting that serious. But like I said, if it's been a longer time, several months, and you all are getting serious by then, yes, I would assume that he would have told you about the kids. Maybe he doesn't think the relationship is serious enough. If y'all are just dating and just friends or not getting having sex and doing all these intimate things, and you all are talking about, I guess, actual relationship, then maybe he didn't want to tell you right away because he didn't know where this relationship was going. People do that. Men and women do that. Some women don't even introduce their kids to their potential, I guess, the person that they're dating for months. To make sure that there are sometimes for a year, up to a year, because I've seen it up to a year. Because they don't know if their relationship is actually going to be a solid relationship and y'all are actually going to be together. He may have been doing the same thing. He may not know whether y'all are going to be together or not. everybody doesn't want to introduce everybody to their kids. If it's not a serious relationship and y'all ain't dating for a long time and talking about getting serious, marriage, that kind of thing, he doesn't have to really say he has the kids, especially if it's not impacting anything that y'all are doing. And like I said, some folks hold off on that because the relationship isn't a serious relationship, but they don't see it going any farther. I don't know if this is y'all's situation. Have that conversation. If you feel comfortable having a conversation with him, to let him know that you looked him up on social media. It's good that you did. I mean, you want to research people all the time. There's no reason why you shouldn't do that. But then again, of course, if you find something that's bothering you, a red flag, you want to bring it up. Or if you don't want to bring it up, then end the relationship then. That's a choice that you make. Like I said, it's not weird at all. People do this all the time. Folks don't just willy-nilly of course, most situations, from what I've seen and what I've been through, they have disclosed that they have kids. But of course, not meeting the kids right away has been the thing that takes the longest time. In my situation, my partner, when I met him again, his daughter was 11 or 12 at the time. I didn't meet her till almost a year after we started dating. Or maybe it was 6 months. 6 months, I don't know. Between 6 months and a year after we started dating. I knew he had a daughter and that kind of thing. That was all I knew. I saw pictures and stuff like that. But once it started getting serious and we were talking about moving in together and all this kind of stuff, like actually dating, that's when I finally had a chance to meet her. And it was after 6 months, I'm sure. 6 months to a year almost. When I finally met her to say hello. I guess I put it that way. And that is not weird. But in a situation where he just did not disclose it, it can go either way. I guess it just depends on what his motivation is. You have to find that out. Just ask him. If you feel comfortable asking him. If not, then I guess that's the end of your relationship. I guess if you don't want to be with anybody with kids. I don't know what your situation is and what you're wanting. But just know that if you're talking to people, you're out here dating and it's been about a month, everybody's not going to disclose every single detailed facet of their life to you. Just keep that in mind until they feel that it's starting to get serious, and then they may start disclosing more over time. Just keep that in mind. That's not weird at all. That's self-protection for one. And why disclose all this stuff to somebody that you ain't gonna be with for two? That it's not just a fuck situation or whichever the case may be. You have to understand that too. That's not weird. That's how life goes. It only been a few weeks. He didn't have to say anything about anything in his past. Or whatever his life was before you. He's trying to get to know you and who you are and whether y'all can gel well together and that kind of thing. That's usually what's more important. Of course, yes, asking those relationship questions is important as well. But if he didn't want to disclose that he had kids right away, I don't see anything wrong with it. Unless you were wanting something more out of this relationship and wanting somebody that did not have kids. So, like I said, it's not weird, but like I said, that's something that if you want to pursue it, that the relationship, that's up to you. You want to deal with somebody that has kids, that's up to you. If not, in the relationship, or stop going on dates with this man and leading him on, thinking that you still want to go on dates, but you don't want anybody that want kids. Just tell him that. Be honest. If you search him on social media, like you said, be honest and upfront and to have that conversation with him. And if that's not what you want, then move on from him. Find somebody else. But no, it's not weird at all. So with that, y'all, I'm going to get off here. I want to say thank you, of course, for tuning in. But let me know in the comments if you think this is weird. That somebody had not disclosed that that they had kids in the first month of dating or going on a few dates. I don't think it's weird. People want to protect their family, especially their kids anyway. Excuse me. But it's not weird at all. It happens all the time. For men and women. But let me know in the comments what y'all think. Let me know in the comments anything that y'all think about anything I went over in this video. I put it that way. In these relationship advice stories. So like I said, let me know in the comments, y'all. Post some of y'all 2 cents down there. Because like I said, there's other folks that's going to be looking at this video that need some advice as well. And something you say may spark their light bulb in their brain. So put it down in the comments and make them move on in a different way in their relationship. Put it in the comments. However you want to respond to these stories I was reading through, put it in the comments. It'll help somebody else along the way. Don't keep that stuff to yourself. So with that, y'all, I'm going to get off here again. This is Tonetta Clay. This is my channel. Thank y'all for tuning in. And of course, make sure that you, of course, again, subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell to receive all the videos that upload from this point here on out. And again, make sure that you pick up the Connecting Conversations ebook in the description. It's going to be a link down there for it so that you can purchase it on Etsy so that you can, of course, fix the communication inside and outside the bedroom in your relationship. So pick it up today, y'all. Like I said, these stories, it'll definitely help these folks in these stories and beyond. So with that, y'all, again, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next video.